Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with this month's Off the Board. And the pen that I have chosen is this really pretty one that's by Jana McCarthy for the Hip Kit Club. She's on the design team at Hip Kit. And I love that it's kind of rainbow watercolory background. She's got a couple of selfies here. It's kind of a reflective composition, if you will. And for the most part, the things that are on top of the watercolor match the colors of the watercolor. And it looks like there's been those are paper frames that have been colored by the same watercolor. I'm not using paper frames. I'm using these. These are kind of plasticky, I guess, and they're pink. There was a set of light pink ones and a set of dark pink ones, and I've gessoed them. And so I may do some watercoloring. I've got 8.5 frames here, and there's gesso on them. There's a clear backing here that I should be able to pull off and get all that gesso, but I'm going to leave that on there in case I decide after I watercolor, as I put the next thing I'm going to do is put the frames on, and then I'll see if I can go back and watercolor the frames. If not, it is not going to bother me at all because my embellishments are pretty much scraps, and they're in all different colors. I've got some scraps of pattern paper that may or may not be arranged to match things. I've got a couple photos of myself. The story here is that this is what my hair looked like in the morning of one day, and then this is what it looked like in the afternoon. I had it shaved to in solidarity with Ava, who had lost all her hair from chemo. So there's not going to be a lot of journaling. It's not going to be much of a story there, but I'm going to try to do the artsy part. Okay, I'm going to put this aside and kind of let the gesso dry a little bit more, and now I'm going to lay down the watercolor background. I'm not using watercolors. I'm using Distress Oxides, which are my current obsession. So I'm going to start with purple at the top and go down to pink. And I'm just gonna rub it on let me kind of bring this forward. For each color, I'm gonna rub it on let's see, my mat here. Let me get these kind of stacked and off of there so they don't start picking up the color. Okay, so I'm just going to get them really, really wet and kind of just lay them down on here like this. And I'm going to overlap as I do each application. I will overlap. And I used to have a nice little roll of paper towels here. And John, can you bring me my roll of paper towels? Because mine is missing. I will pull one out of if I need more purple, I will do that. Okay, the next color I'm going to go with is Mermaid Lagoon. That was Dusty Concord. Thank you very much. It's good to have an assistant. This is Mermaid Lagoon. What did I do with my Dusty Concord? I need it handy in case I decide to go try to color those frames. So I'm going to kind of the little there, and I'm gonna, oh, I love how that's blending. That is beautiful. But I hate that I'm wasting color by wiping it up at each turn, but Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is Lucky Clover, and it should give me a nice teal. I'm going to start narrowing this a bit, and I'm doing this on Vicki Boutin's Foundations mixed media paper. Maybe kind of push a little color out there. Okay, and now I'm going to go with mustard seed. And I'm thinking the mustard seed, I kind of want to get a nice citron lime green here. I get back down where I'm pointing towards the bottom there. Okay, that's brought the green down kind of low, and I really kind of wanted to get just yellow before I start bringing in the pink. So there was a little too much green there, but that gives me a nice piece of that. I do have a lot of citron in there, and now let me kind of mix up some of that. And I love how these colors are kind of blending, and there will be some colors inside of others and kind of look like they're outlined, which is a really nice effect. Okay, so now I'm going to leave the yellow on the mat. This is Tim Holtz Ranger Craft mat, the Teflon mat. So now I'm doing picked raspberry. I'm going to kind of try to keep it away from the green, but I'll let it go ahead and form some orange there with the pink. And I'm going to take some pink. Let me go back and put it on. I've got too much yellow on my brush, so it's kind of an orangey pink down here. I want a bit of a purpley pink. Okay, let's do this, and I'm going to mix it in with this purple up here, and we'll let that go off the page. Okay, and that I want a more kind of fluid look there instead of brush strokes. I like how this is kind of turned out here. I'm still getting a little too much orange up there. I'm going to do this. Okay, now I'm going to roll over this so that I can start putting down the frames. And where there's a transition that I don't find attractive, I've got all kinds of stuff that I can cover it up with. Okay, so here's what we're left with. And I kind of like that. It's going to be interesting. I think I will not try to color the frames until I get them on, and then I'll decide what I want to do, and then I may just run my brush directly onto the oxides. So let me just kind of stack them up there, and we'll start doing this. Now, I'm not going to pay attention to the exact design in the original. We'll look at it again. You've got some going up at an angle, some off to this way, some, kind of horizontally. So I'm just gonna arrange them on here as they go. And we'll see, I'm gonna kind of do that one, kind of right there. And see, I wouldn't know what color to color that one, so I'm okay with it not being colored, other than just this gesso white. So let me kind of put this at an angle like that. And I'll just arrange the embellishments over. Like I said, I'm not paying attention. I haven't planned exactly where the embellishments will go, but I'll be guided by where the frames end up. So far, I'm kind of liking the look. This, and I'm putting this Polaroid part in the middle, and it will kind of provide some lift for the embellishments, but this one is going to have to show somewhere if I use it, and I'm going to go ahead and therefore I'm going to go ahead and let this one show, and I'll let it kind of stick out right there. I'm going to start going back down. I had some horizontal fanning out. I'm going to go back down to here, and we're doing more vertical. And that's really just to have some consistency in the design. Okay, so those are down. I'm going to put this over, and I'm not going to go back and watercolor anything. Oh, I have two more. I don't need them, do I? I think I don't need them. I think I'll save those for another project. I don't want to go completely overboard here. I have made up a cluster here. This rainbow had a sentiment on it that I wasn't interested in having. So I covered it with a rabbit, and I kind of lost the back part of the rabbit, so I kind of arched this black and white greenery over it, and I put this tropical greenery there. So I want to get it down. And the placement of the photos on here, she's got a photo off to the left. I would like the photo looking up to be here on the right. And then the one, so that it's kind of looking up to the one that got the haircut. So I'm going to put this guy right here. Let me get this on. That is a double matted photo as per the requirements of this week's Mind the Scrap Challenge. Go Team 5. And so I'm going to do that. I've got, I'll put this one here. I'm going to put a piece of foam behind it so that it can rest. I have to be sure that I don't cover up all my pretty watercoloring. I want to be sure and leave some of that yellow peeking through there. And so I want to be sure this leaves some of that blue and the blending of the blue and green. So I'm going to do that. Is that sticking? It's really... I guess that'll work. But let me put it at more of an angle. Let me do this. I'll move it more to the center and I'll burnish it that way. Okay, now I've got these flowers. I've got 2 of them and I love these. I wanted to use one upper and lower. As you can see, I'm not keeping with a matching color scheme. I have stitched the center, what do you call those, stamens, I guess, of the flowers. And okay, I want to kind of slide that under there. Again, don't want to cover all of that, so I'll be careful. And I've got this on foam, so it should kind of bridge the gap created by the, okay, let me do that. There, okay, that works. And then I'll do another one to balance that kind of down here, and I'll kind of slide it in. I've got stitching here too. Don't want to move the photo. I'll do this and then I'll find something to put down here. Okay, we'll do that. It's kind of filling up. I have a tray full of things that I might use. I have to use, for the challenge, I have to use 3 patterned papers. And I've got one that's matting, that's the outside mat of the photos. Okay, that's not working, so let me put another piece of foam here and some more glue. Okay. I had some adhesive, something or other, on my finger. Okay, that should have made contact, and as soon as that dries, it'll be fine. I've got these pieces of paper that I noticed in the original. I've moved that now. So let me again kind of push that down. There. So I thought I'd put this one just as a layer kind of behind there. To add pattern paper number 2. And I've got this piece which could maybe go on the other side. Let me cut it down a bit. That brings in the teal color that we have in the leaves and stuff going on down here. I'm gonna put something here that will somewhat hide the fact that that's lifting up so much. Let me just kind of stick this in here. Get it there. Let me do that. Very, kind of tuck that in. Okay. That's good. I've got this tropical leaf, which is kind of cut strangely. I'm just going to leave that there. A little bit of glue under there because I really want to take it back out. I've got this black and white, kind of a long tendril here. I always leave the stem on in case I might want to use it. Let's see what we've got here. There's kind of this part sort of looks like that, And I think it may just need to go right there without the stem. I always leave the stem on, like I said, in case I do find a nice way to include it. But I'm not going to do that here. Okay, I have one other tropical leaf, which could maybe go right here. Ooh, that would be good because it kind of, that pink kind of brings out the pink of that frame. And it picks up on the green as well. And you're seeing the frames out here kind of where they want to be. I like this Choose Happy, and it's kind of looks like maybe that little piece of ephemera there, but I think it's too much. It's too rainbowy, although I do have this rainbow. That rainbow does not bother me. So instead, I'm going to put this butterfly, I'm going to do the orange butterfly down here in the orange section, and that's probably the extent of the color matching that I'm going to do. I like this look on the sunny side, especially right around where I'm looking up. So I'm going to kind of do it right there. And then I've got this live in the moment, which might be nice kind of right here. I'm just going to put a tiny, tiny bit of glue there and then kind of rub it in, so just so that it's tacky, because I don't want it to be liquid enough that it curls that vellum. And just for the hell of it, I have this bubblegum machine. And why not, right? And I have a watermelon. I think I'm gonna not use the watermelon. I have this Shine On, and I have these two other pieces of pattern paper. I think I'll leave those and call this done. So that wasn't too bad. I've got lots of colors, a nice watercolory background that still does show, although I also wanted the frames to kind of come out into the white space. Oh, I need something down here. Is that where I want to do Choose Happy? And if I do I want to cut the green off? And that's my favorite part, actually. Okay. I can do this, and I can actually reapply the butterfly right here, and I can do a small embellishment there. So let me go looking for, whoops, sorry about moving the camera there. I'm going to find a heart, I'll do my overlapping hearts if I can find, these are not big enough maybe. Let's see, I've got this red one, red one would not work. How about a Whoops, I lost a jewel there. Let's try it. let's do some glue on here. And then we'll do this guy so that it kind of covers that corner. And I'll do that guy. And I may add some glue there. I'm gonna move this up so that it's higher up than that. Let me kind of get some glue under there and get that kind of stuck down. Okay, and that's good. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. So now we're done. And I'm seeing the placement as I stand up. I'd like this one. That one covered the corner of the frame. I'd like this one to cover the corner of the Choose Happy ephemera, just so that we don't have any, random corners out there. It's a little distracting to the eye. So I moved it up so there's no white showing. And I kind of like that there's a little bit of pink showing through on the frames. That does not bother me at all. In fact, it looks like a feature instead of an issue. So I'm happy. Thank you for watching. And I encourage you to go out there and actually pull a Pinterest pin that you've had on your board for a while, even if you can't figure out how to do it, and put it on paper. Have some fun. This was great fun. I had no idea what I was doing at the beginning, but I'm happy with it, and I hope I've done Jana proud. Hers is just absolutely a beautiful page. So, thank you for watching. See you next month. Bye.